The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. Only two things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the former. Albert Einstein. In this speech, I will commemorate the idea that all youth should have access to services that create the best behavioral development, no matter their mental capacity. Albert Einstein rose beyond possible mental and behavioral issues during his school years to become one of the most respected physicists who ever lived. Like Einstein, most behavioral disorders in children can be prevented before they emerge, and all children can be motivated to build a successful life in spite of their disorders. As a future social worker, my goal is to help these children move towards this goal. More than 6 million children ages 0 to 18, according to Brooks, with several mental, emotional, or behavioral problems should receive early intervention strategies to abort impending problems and minimize developmental problems. First, let's look at the most common behavioral disorders, beginning with oppositional defiant disorder, or ODD. Adolescents diagnosed with ODD are easily angered, annoyed, or irritated. They may exhibit frequent temper tantrums and refuse to obey rules. ODD teenagers often have low self-esteem, and they also place their blame of their own misfortune on others. Second is conduct disorder, or CD. These children often exhibit a lack of empathy for others. They may be aggressive to animals or younger siblings and even younger acquaintances, according to Schaefer. They lie frequently. They believe their behavior often moves into the criminal realm, such as theft, arson, burglary, and vandalism, according to Schaefer. Third is attention deficit disorder, and this is ADD. These children often have difficulty focusing. They forget instructions and move quickly from one task to another without completing them, according to Schaefer. They are impulsive, talk over others, have a short fuse, and are accident prone. The most common trait is overactivity, restlessness, and fidgeting. Many times, ADD is coupled with dyslexia or dysphoria. As a social worker, it is important to know underlying traits and causes. A variety of aspects can contribute to behavioral disorders, including gender, gestation, intellectual disability, and family life. Males are more likely to develop behavioral disorders. If a woman has a difficult pregnancy, premature birth, or low birth weight, the child may have behavioral disorders. Intellectually disabled children and those with behavioral disorders often come from homes that struggle with poverty, domestic violence, or parents with poor skills and behavioral disorders themselves. As a future social worker, I intend to work with the idea that children with behavioral disorders can be moved beyond those disorders to become viable members of society. If therapists and social workers address these needs earlier in a child's life, that child has the chance to move into his or her teen years or into adulthood without crippling side effects that behavioral disorders can cause. Albert Einstein became one of the greatest in spite of his medical condition, which included not speaking until he was 6 years old, having possible dyslexic disorder, according to Jacobson, and needing a creative stimulus in order to learn. Imagine what could have happened had he received coping skills to move beyond these issues earlier in his life. Instead, his schoolmaster suggested Einstein attend trade school. If Einstein had listened, we would possibly not have E equals mc squared or the theory of relativity. Thank you.